Good morning, good evening, or good night, folks. I'm your host, Simon Redhanded, and welcome back to Gaming Red-Handed. The Spear has arrived. Coming with a major December 5th update, Amazon World Studio has given us very little time to prepare, but I'm here with a checklist to make sure you got everything you need once the patch goes live, so let's dive right in. First, let's talk about the Spear. The devs say this weapon can handle both tank and DPS roles, offering a bruiser playstyle with plenty of utility. It can engage from a distance and close the gap rather quickly. It's great at controlling the battlefield or jumping into the backline to disrupt support. The Spear comes with a massive AoE stun, and its specializations can add fire, applying burn damage over time to groups of enemies. It also features a new combo system known as Ignition, which after applying 5 stacks pushes the targets away, and their omnipotent skill will disable the ability to parry, which likely is referring to the ability to perfect block or just block in general. They're also designed to pair well with two-handed weapons like greatsword, staff, and longbow, but it'll also work well with the dagger and sword, I imagine, as some of these specializations increase their effectiveness based on your crit chance, and being another tank class, I imagine it'll spec well with the tank weapon. The devs say this when they designed this weapon, they had in mind the dominance of the 4 ranged weapons, and they were hoping to have some kind of counter answer to that, so the Spear is supposed to be a counter to the ranged PvP options that are currently available, so I can't wait to see if that actually works out. Alright, on to general prep. This is going to be broken into 3 sections: weapons, skill books, and weapon mastery. For weapons, save up your dimensional salvation tokens from co-op dungeons. These tokens are acquired by getting 10 of each boss-specific dimensional soul shard from each co-op dungeon, or you can get lucky and get 1 from the randomized matchmaking reward box. You'll most likely need only 2 tokens to craft your weapon, but if you save up 4, you'll be able to craft both weapons and experiment with them. I'm only guessing there'll be 2 weapons available based on history, although we don't know what weapons will be available. Historically, we know that they are acquired through co-op dungeons, open world dungeons, and world bosses. And while we can't plan for world bosses, we can certainly get ready for the other 2 sources, which means besides dimensional salvation tokens, save up your abyss currency. You'll need 40 for the standard precious epic equipment chest. However, for the one they arbitrarily decided to make cost 10 abyssal aggregates, you'll need 80. Another thing you can do is you can save up your dungeon tokens to be just at 3,600, so that when the maintenance hits and the servers come back up, you will be capped at 4,500 dungeon tokens, and then you can try to target farm your weapon that way. However, keep in mind, this is the patch where they'll most likely fix your ability to scum dungeons in terms of trying to get your random award, but also rejecting dungeons you don't want to do without penalty. So you will most likely be trading in your ability to get the random matchmaking box for the ability to target farm your weapon if you want to go that route. So that's something to keep in mind. You guys are still watching the video this far, that means you like it. So like the video, it really helps with the algorithm. Let's continue on. Next, skill leveling. If you're like me, you've got no skill growth books left, and we need to start from green. The only way to do that efficiently is through daily contracts. Try to stack up around 60 contracts by December 6th. You can knock them out once this patch hits. Remember, you cannot save the training dues. They have a 24-hour expiration date, so you're going to want to time this so that you're hitting your 60 just as the 6 hits. Also keep in mind that if you are 1 point below the cap, say 59 out of 60, when you get your 10 resets, it will let you go over by that one cap, so you will be 69 out of 60. However, you will not get contract points if you are exactly at 60. So if you do want to time it so that you get more points on the day of reset, what you can do is do 1 contract to beat yourself at 59 and then wait for the reset, and that way it sets over and gives you an additional 9 contracts. Or if you really want to time it, you can just do all the contracts just before a server maintenance and hope it comes back up before that 24-hour timer. But I wouldn't want to gamble already, just in case something goes wrong, servers stay down longer than expected. You don't want your training dues to be turned into ether waiting for the servers to come up. When doing your contracts, focus on getting rare parchment and rare Marind ores. You'll need a lot more rare parchment than the Marind ores in order to make your skill books. So if you want to look at priority of what to pick when you're looking at contracts, it'll be parchments first, Marind ore second. Of course, on top of everything is always going to be the pouch, right? If the pouch shows up, take the pouch every single time. You'll also get parchment paper to drop while farming open world dungeon, which doing these 60 contracts will give you quite a bit of abyssal contract token points. So make sure you don't cap out. Pay attention that you're not hitting 20k, and every time you get close, head over to an open world dungeon and start farming it out so you can get your parchment papers from there also. And don't forget about the battle pass. Hit the Phantom Tracker shop for skill conversion books to transfer skills from another weapon to the spear if you decide you're going to give up a weapon to make use of it. But also, make sure to prioritize getting the extra resistance contracts from there, as well as the dimensional contract points, abyssal contract token masteries, and the skill mastery books. The battle pass is timed to end December 5th, so by the time the patch launches, this pass will be out of the shop. You don't want to miss out on these items because most likely when the new battle pass arrives, there will be additional books to get, and you don't want these ones to disappear into the ether. Once you have all of your parchment papers in Marin ore, you're going to head over to Stoneguard Castle. You're going to go over to the skill research NPC named Spencer, and you're going to purchase or convert those parchment papers into skill books. Now, the ratio is up to you. Whether or not you want to level your passives or your active skills are up to you. This is all going to be your decisions here. This is going to be the hardest part of leveling up the spear because skill growth books are not common. Now, when you run out of contract tokens, all you'll have left is the grind. When you have abyssal contract tokens, head over to an open world dungeon of your choosing and start grinding elites. Before you start, however, you'll want to make sure you level your cooking to at least level 11 so you can cook yourself golden apple pies, which offer 50% increased weapon mastery experience, as well as abyssal contract token efficiency. The battle pass also offers an item known as the mastery report, which gives an additional 30% increased weapon mastery. Now, I don't know if it stacks with the golden apple pies, but I believe it does since it's not a food, it's a remedy. So altogether, you'll have 80% increased weapon mastery experience. So I would make sure to buy both of these together if you have points left over before you head out and start grinding these skill points out. Also remember, you can spend Lucent if you want in order to get more points. If your pockets are deep like that, you're allowed to purchase up to another 5,000 points here. So if you're trying to roll like that, I am not trying to roll like that. It is a 1-to-1 ratio of Phantom Star Crystals to Lucent. That's, which in my opinion is fucking crazy. All right, guys, that's gonna be all the tips for today. I'm not gonna start theory crafting the spear just yet because I don't believe in blind theory crafting. When the skills show up, the passives show up, then I'm gonna do another video, break down the skills, what they do, and then we'll talk about how can we possibly make this weapon work. There's no meta, no one's played it yet. This is what I love. I want to get up in there and just start figuring this out. I am pretty sure this is the weapon I'm looking for, the playstyle I'm looking for, just based on what they've shown so far. I reluctantly chose the greatsword because I usually love heavy weapons. Give me a big two-hand axe, big heavy mace, big greatsword. I usually like those, but in this game, as dominant as the greatsword is, people don't like Ravengers. They're very dangerous on the battlefield. The greatsword's kit is shallow as hell. There's no diversity there. There's nothing you can do. The kit is very basic. Stun, prone, charge up, guillotine strike. It's boring. I tried to make Devastating Tornado work, but the skill itself is just a really, really awkward skill. But this is speaking to me. So check out the next video. When the skills drop, I'm definitely gonna have a video here detailing that class, breaking it down, going over what items I think will work together, what armor you should be taking up, what skills will be worth putting on the rotation, and we're gonna be doing some trial and error here. Okay, this is going to be a lot of fun. So if you found the video helpful, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. We got more content coming on the way for sure. Have yourselves a good morning, and if this is the only video you watch of me today, a good afternoon or good night.